Members and supporters of Guyana's ruling coalition stage protests amid election calls and concerns. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Thursday, February 7. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Ricardo Roberts. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. 2 days after Guyana's opposition People's Progressive Party staged a protest demanding that a date be called for elections following the government's defeat in a no-confidence motion, supporters of the ruling coalition also went to the route of demonstrations. But their calls is for the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, to carry out house-to-house registration to get a clean voters list ahead of any polls. The PPP is opposed to that and has insisted elections be held within 90 days of the December 21, 2018 no-confidence vote, which the government is challenging. But supporters and members of a Partnership for National Unity, the APNU, and the Alliance for Change, the AFC, took to the streets on Thursday saying that many Guyanese, especially young people, will not be able to vote if GECOM goes ahead with general and regional elections without the house-to-house registration.
The protest action in Kingston, Georgetown, the headquarters of the election body, on Thursday was meant to get GECOM's attention to the position of the APNU-AFC, a position that is in contrast to the opposition, which believes that the current list of electors is valid to conduct the polls. Annette Ferguson, vice chairperson of the People's National Congress Reform, the largest party in the coalition, rallied the supporters of the protest.
As I'm on the floor here, let me say to you this afternoon, do not lose hope. Do not lose faith in your government. 3 years, we have done tremendous things in this nation to bring about the desired changes we all long for. We promise you that good life, and it is by your vote we must have a second term. David Granger and his team must have a second term to bring that good life that we so desire.
AFC's chairman, however, Kemraj Ramjatan, also made his position known.
I would like the list to be cleansed of all the dead people and those who are not resident. And I would like also the residency requirement, because a lot of people have shifted out, say from Port Moran to Parfaite Harmony. They must be allowed to vote at Parfaite Harmony instead of at Port Moran. That is an important requirement, because you might get them disenfranchised because in the morning they do not turn up at elections because they got to go till Port Moran.
Ramjatan refuted the opposition's claims that the coalition is involved in the delaying of elections.
That the list is pure. That same opposition, if when we win the elections with this list, they're going to say it's rigged elections. You want to bet?
Meanwhile, PNC member Ronald Bulkan claimed that the last house-to-house registration was over a decade ago and that the current list is bloated with over 600,000 names in a population of approximately 750,000.
The list is bloated. We cannot have an acceptable elections with the current list being used as the basis. House-to-house registration is a prerequisite to produce a list that is properly sanitized, that removes persons who do not live here or are dead.
GECOM has indicated that it can bypass the house-to-house registration and conduct a claims and objections process in order to fast-track preparations for elections. However, the coalition believes that this will not purge or sanitize the list.
Meantime, the former government backbencher whose vote caused the administration to lose the no-confidence motion is suing Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan and Police Commissioner Leslie James for slander. But Ramjatan says he is ready to defend himself against any lawsuit filed by his former colleague Chandras Prasad. More in this Capital News report.
Chandras Prasad bolted the country after voting with the opposition PPP on the no-confidence motion. The police have since launched a probe after text messages surfaced with Prasad inquiring about the purchase of $1 million worth of gold. Police Commissioner Leslie James said the Chandras Prasad investigation is a matter of national security. Prasad said he voted with his conscience. Ramjatan thinks otherwise.
Good people that got a conscience in the way they vote in their parliament don't run away like fugitives. Never. They stay. I remember having a problem with the PPP. I indicated to them my position, and I stayed, and they expelled me. And I didn't run to Canada. I stayed right here and I formed my own party. I don't know all this talk about he's gonna form his party. He gotta be joking. But, you know, he has surprised me before. Maybe he will surprise me again. He might come in. But whatever it is, I feel that I am justified in making the statement that indeed Charandas is a Judas.
Posada, former government member of parliament, was expelled by the AFC shortly after he voted with the PPP.
Staying in Guyana, police say their investigations have found no significant threat at the University of Guyana, which faced 2 days of closure following bomb threats. But the administration of the university has decided to close the campus for the rest of the week. The university said Thursday that the Turkian campus will be closed to the public, students and non-essential emergency personnel to enable a comprehensive assessment of the situation. It said while no explosive device of any kind was found when police and fire officers searched the institution late Wednesday, the closure of the campus will enable the administration, staff and student leaders to review the situation and enhance preventative and responsive measures for such threats. Now, classes and field operations are scheduled to resume next Monday. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has welcomed the formulation of a dialogue mechanism to find a solution to the political crisis in his country. Maduro has been under increasing pressure to resign since opposition leader Juan Guaido late last month declared himself interim leader and received the backing of the United States, Canada and some European nations. On Wednesday, representatives of CARICOM, Mexico, Uruguay and Bolivia offered what they termed the Montevideo mechanism following discussions in Uruguay's capital as a proposal to guarantee a peaceful and democratic solution that prevents an escalation of violence. And on Thursday, Maduro indicated his government's willingness to participate in an agenda of understanding for peace in the South American nation. He said his government subscribes to the 4 phases of the mechanism, which are dialogue, negotiation, commitments and implementation. Maduro said he is ready to participate in an agenda of understanding for peace. Now, when the foreign ministers of Uruguay and Mexico presented the mechanism proposal, they did not impose any conditions on the Venezuelan government, such as holding early presidential elections. Grenada continued a 5-year trend to record the highest level of growth among borrowing member countries of the Caribbean Development Bank in 2018. The news came from the CDB on Thursday as Grenada celebrated 45 years of political independence from Britain. And as Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said, his government remains committed to enhancing the country economically. CDB President Dr. Warren Smith told the bank's annual news conference in Barbados that Grenada's growth rate of 5% was followed by Antigua and Barbuda at 3.5% and Guyana at 3.4% as the highest performing economies.
In the case of Grenada, its strong performance continued to be a 5-year positive trend that averages around 5%. For Antigua and Barbuda and some of the other borrowing members that were affected by the 2017 hurricane season, reconstruction efforts contributed in large part to their upturn. Conversely, real GDP contracted in Barbados despite modest gains in tourism, one of this country's key sectors. This contraction was attributed to the impact of fiscal consolidation and the fall in construction activity.
The region will continue to grapple with challenges such as climate change, high debt, unemployment and wide fiscal deficits. But the CDB is anticipating 2% growth in GDP for its borrowing member countries in 2019, despite an overall forecast of deceleration in global economic activity this year. The CDB president said this is based on projections of expected increases in the construction and tourism sectors, as well as the extractive industries such as gold and oil.
To sustain these gains over the medium term, borrowing members will need to step up their efforts to build long-term resilience, and to tackle at least 3 challenges head-on. The first of these is climate change, evidenced by extreme weather events and energy insecurity. Secondly, wide fiscal deficits and high public debt. And third, high unemployment, especially amongst our young people.
Still to come in Caribbean Newsline, the Trinidadian fishermen who were reportedly kidnapped in Venezuela last month have been freed. Stay with us. More news after this.
Follow your heart to St. Kitts and make plans to join us at the 23rd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival. 5 days of world-class entertainment from Wednesday, June 26th to Sunday, June 30th, 2019. See Butcher Banton live as he makes his epic return to St. Kitts. Also, French Montana and Davido. Popcorn and the legendary Smokey Robinson. This is just the first wave of announcements. Many more acts to come. For more information, log on to StKittsMusicFestival.com. The St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
There he is. That's not the one I wanted, but I'll take him. Don't move right now. That's a smallmouth. This is nice. Yes. Yeah, there's a smallmouth. Yeah! Smallmouth! I'm lost. Help me. I'm not terribly disappointed that I got a couple of fish. 3 fish right now. And I'm telling you, I never really fished this. I would never come here first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. So I'm just finding new areas to fish.
We continue in Trinidad and Tobago, where 5 fishermen who were reportedly abducted by Venezuelan pirates have returned home. The police report that Linton Manohar, Jason O'Brien, Brandon Arjun, Jagdish Jaikaran and Ricky Rambaros returned to Trinidad on a canoe. O'Brien's brother Jerry, who was also allegedly kidnapped along with the others, was sent back home last Thursday with an instruction to pay a ransom of $200,000. It's reported that the family of the fishermen sold their boats, engines and a van to raise the money. Police say the men appeared to be unharmed and were expected to be taken to a health facility for medical examination. Jamaica's National Security Minister Horace Chang is calling for police officers to be better equipped after one officer was attacked by a bus driver on Wednesday in the Clarendon community. The driver was eventually shot by the police and the lawmen say he will be charged. We get more in this report from TVJ News.
Dramatic scenes in Spalding, Clarendon on Tuesday. Videos from various angles of the incident plastered all over social media. It is therefore no surprise that the many viewing eyes included those of Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang. He reasons the incident is a reminder of how the state has failed to properly equip police officers, or as he puts it, giving them basket to carry water.
From a security point of view, if you examine it, you had a police officer in uniform, so he shouldn't be attacked. Cannot condone that. But all he was armed with was a sidearm. Regular police sidearm. So under attack, he had no choice but to use his firearm. A modern police force, he should have had a vest, and we should have had a camera that he has control of. Should have had at least a taser, which is a non-lethal activity. He could have had a pepper spray or a small canister of tear gas that they can use. as well as what you'd call a modern button.
So what became of the government's plan to equip members of the JCF with non-lethal gear and body cameras?
We're getting our own cameras. Part of this year, but we are carrying cameras. The PSTB branch will be equipped with cameras throughout the island. And cameras, as we see it in the force, is something that is used to improve the services. Because if you have a camera, you can review what happened to see where it might have gone wrong.
The minister also feels there's a culture of disrespect and disregard for authority that is mushrooming among sections of the population. And a reminder of this was on display in the Spalding incident.
A former employee of regional airline Liat has been awarded $1.55 million after winning an age discrimination case. A jury in St. Croix returned a verdict in favor of a former USVI employee of Liat, William Cherubin, who had worked for the airline for 47 years and was suddenly let go. His attorneys alleged that the regional airline, which said Cherubin was sent home because of poor performance, actually fired him because of his age. Cherubin was 71 when he was let go by Liat back in 2015. Virgin Islands law prohibits the firing of an individual because of age. Cherubin's attorney, Vince Kolani, says they are very pleased with the verdict. He said it sends a message to Liat that it can't fire Virgin Islands employees because of age. Kolani said he expected Liat to appeal the case to the Supreme Court of the Virgin Islands, where he is also expecting a favorable outcome for his client. The victory for Cherubin is a blow to Liat, which only last year recommends flights in the U.S. Virgin Islands after abandoning the territory and other routes in what it said was a restructuring effort to cut costs. And coming up in Caribbean Newsline Sport, Chris Gayle returns to the West Indies squad for the ODI series against England. Stay with us. Sport is next.
Follow your heart to St. Kitts and make plans to join us at the 23rd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival. 5 days of world-class entertainment from Wednesday, June 26th to Sunday, June 30th, 2019. See Buju Banton live as he makes his epic return to St. Kitts. Also, French Montana and Davido. Popcorn and the legendary Smokey Robinson. This is just the first wave of announcements. Many more acts to come. For more information, log on to StKittsMusicFestival.com. The St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
Barbados, renowned for its pristine beachfront and fantastic weather, continues to leave quite an impression on newcomers to the island and returning visitors. The Caribbean island, quite popular as a vacation hotspot, is not only beautiful due to its natural aesthetics. The island of Barbados continues to grow in popularity because of unique connections developed with our people, our culture. We can't wait to welcome you.
Welcome to the WWG 2019 War with Germs.
The Oxitec antimicrobial glove is wasting no time, folks.
Quite right, Tammy. I see no way for the germs duo to come back from this.
Oh, what a slam. What a slam. Oxitec is the winner in less than a minute. WWG champion of the world. Find our champion at www.psci.biz or give us a call at 417-0777.
The inclusion of veteran opener Chris Gayle is one of several changes to a West Indies 14-man squad named Thursday to face England in the first two one-day internationals of the five-match series against England starting later this month. Gayle has not played with the Windies since the ODI home series against Bangladesh in July 2018. He was unavailable for the India and Bangladesh tours late last year as he opted to participate in the Afghanistan Premier League and the T10 League. Meanwhile, wicketkeeper batsman Nicholas Pooran will make his appearance in the ODI series for the first time. The Trinidadian has so far played 8 T20 internationals with a strike rate of 152.57 and a high score of 53 not out. Chairman of Selectors Courtney Brown said he was pleased to have Pooran on board. He said Pooran is a player with undoubted talent and believes he can add value to the middle order. Veteran Jamaican batsman Marlon Samuels will miss the series due to injury. All-rounder Ruston Chase, meanwhile, has been retained despite gathering just 49 runs in 3 innings against Bangladesh last December. There is no room for explosive all-rounder Andre Russell, who missed the tours of India and Bangladesh but is currently plying his trade in the Bangladesh Premier League, while off-spinner Sunil Narain remains on the sidelines after playing his last ODI over 2 years ago. West Indies take on India in the first 2 ODIs at Kensington Oval in Bridgetown on February 20th and 22nd. Brown says the upcoming 5-match series is a vital part of the preparations for the 2019 ICC Cricket World Cup to be played in England and Wales from May 31st to July 15th. Still in cricket, West Indies captain Jason Holder is set to join Nottinghamshire for that's North Hampshire for the season start of the county season. Now, according to ESPN Crick Info, Holder will be available for the first 2 championship matches against Middlesex from April 5th and Glamorgan from April 11th, as well as the opening 6 one-day cup games. The 27-year-old, who has played 37 tests and 85 ODI, said he was keen to experience county cricket for the first time. Holder said the experience would provide a good opportunity for acclimatizing to English conditions and would allow him to get some time in the middle ahead of the World Cup in England. The Barbadian is currently on suspension from international cricket because of his side's slow overrate during the second test against England in Antigua. Holder joins South African batsman Temba Bavumba and Pakistan all-rounder Fahim Ashraf, who have also signed with Northamptonshire for the 2019 season. And hat-tricks from Deandra Dottin and Afi Fletcher helped West Indies crush Pakistan by 146 runs in the first one-day international in Dubai on Thursday. Chasing a competitive total of 216 for 5 set by the visiting Caribbean side, the host was scuttled out for 70 in just 30 overs. Opening batsmen Nadia and Javeera Khan were the only 2 who made double figures. Nadia was retired hurt on 23, while Javeera was bowled on 21. Dottin picked up 3 wickets for 13 runs, while Fletcher finished with figures of 3 for 17. Earlier, Dottin was in sublime form with the bat as she fell 4 runs shy of a second ODI ton. She produced a top score of 96, while captain Stephanie Taylor also contributed to the Windies total, scoring her 33rd ODI half-century. Shemaine Campbell remained unbeaten on 28. Medium pacer Kinat Imtiaz was the pick of the bowlers for Pakistan. She earned figures of 3 for 49. After the match, the West Indies captain heaped praises on Dottin despite her missing out on a one-day international century. Both Dottin and Taylor brought some stability to the innings after they lost the wicket of opening batsman Kaisia Knight for a duck. The 140-run partnership set the foundation for what was a modest first innings total.
Good that we got off on a good start. Thought Deandra batted really well. Coming over from T20, I thought that she adapted well and got 97. Wish she had stayed there and got the 100. I think it was well deserved. Yeah, so congrats on that.
What did you tell each other? All together.
Well, we thought that the pitch would have been a slow wicket. They have a lot of spinners who they could choose from and good spinners. So I just said to Deandra that don't watch if we get maiden overs. Once we have that, get that scoreboard ticking, we know that we could catch up. And once we hear to maybe 35, 40 overs, we could definitely get the team to a good target. So, congrats to her. I thought she did really, really well again. So, yeah, well played.
West Indies lies 6th on 98 points in the ICC Women's ODI rankings, just 4 points shy above Pakistan, who sits on the 7th spot with 94. Now, looking ahead to the second ODI, Taylor said gaining points is important for the team.
Well, definitely 2 points. We need those points. because Pakistan is really close on us. So we happy that we got the 2 points, but you know that's behind us. We want to look forward to the next game and finish it off in the second game.
Over to the Cayman Islands, where the senior rugby team wants to make history when they meet Guyana in a qualifying match for the America's Rugby Challenge. Cayman 27's Jordan Armanese tells us more.
You see the desire, you see the heart in everyone. Early mornings, 3 days a week. We're all a team. We're doing it for each other. We're not doing it individually. We know what's up for grabs, and we want it bad.
What will a win versus Guyana mean to rugby in the Cayman Islands? Caymanian Michael Wilson says everything.
It's a small country, as we all know it, and to be put on that type of map, to get to a chance to play in the South American games, it would be absolutely massive.
But a berth in the 2019 America's Rugby Challenge isn't just about advancing outside the region for the first time. Captain Killian Everard says it's about the obstacles the team has overcome and the unity it's created.
I think the team was really focused. Like from the late move from Truman Bottom to South Sound, it didn't affect the team, and I actually think it'll galvanise us because the smaller pitch, the more intimate atmosphere, hopefully we get a big crowd down here. I think it'll really lend itself to supporting us and getting us over the line, being that 16-man for the team.
And head coach Gary Southway says that unity is translating on the field at the right time.
For a last session from a coach's perspective, I think that was our best one so far.
But this isn't the same team that edged Bermuda. Southway says 1/3 of the roster has been turned over.
And that's the sports. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Follow your heart to St. Kitts and make plans to join us at the 23rd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival. 5 days of world-class entertainment from Wednesday, June 26th to Sunday, June 30th, 2019. See Buju Banton live as he makes his epic return to St. Kitts. Also, French Montana and Davido. Popcorn and the legendary Smokey Robinson. This is just the first wave of announcements. Many more acts to come. For more information, log on to StKittsMusicFestival.com. The St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
Welcome to the WWG 2019 War with Germs.
The Oxitec antimicrobial glove is wasting no time, folks.
Quite right, Tammy. I see no way for the germs duo to come back from this.
Oh, what a slam. What a slam. Oxitec is the winner in less than a minute. WWG champion of the world. Find our champion at www.psci.biz or give us a call at 417-0777.
Again, the major developments of this day, members and supporters of Guyana's coalition government staged protests demanding that the Elections Commission carry out house-to-house registration to get a clean voters list ahead of any polls. And the sport veteran opener Chris Gayle joins the West Indies 14-man squad that will face England in the first two one-day internationals. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sports around the clock, log on to CarnaNews.com. We'll be back here again tomorrow, but from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a good night.